This is our project, Vertical Filing Vise. We've got a hole in the springs to allow for a long bar to go through. The jaws are reasonably parallel, and then for me it's important that the top of the jaws are perpendicular to these sides, so you're going to be filing flat, and then you can protect those. Whenever you're filing, just drop a washer on and then you can file, and then the washer is a consumable. And why do you need a filing vise or a vertical filing vise? To make little bits like this. This is a little rivet. It's square in the middle, round on either end, and trying to do that in a forge or in a forging application caused me a little indigestion, so I do it cold with a file. Application, we're going to make in another video a pair of Blacksmith calipers. You can see these are two calipers for measuring width and thickness, and you want to be able to adjust one leg with the other leg staying still. And so the way to do that is to put a square hole in your piece. The rivet has a square section that fits in the square hole, would you believe? And then one leg can move independently of the other. Let's have a look at some stock measurements here. If I draw a line across the top and then another one sort of down here level with that shoulder, if I cover the tab, you can see I've got about 1/4 inch of material needed for the jaw on that side, and then if I cover that, another 1/4 inch here. So I need 1/2 inch of material for the jaw twice, so that's going to give me 1 inch. My jaw measurements and my post vise are 1.5 inches, and then I need to add to that the thickness of the spring. So 1 3/4 inches twice is going to give me 3.5 inches. For the spring, I've got a piece of 1.5 inch ID pipe, which is almost 2 inches outside diameter, and I'm going to add to that the 1/4 inch wall of our spring, making the real diameter about 2.25 inches. Times by pi, let's call that 3, that's going to give me 6 3/4 inches. But remember, we have these shoulders that are going to be part of the circumference. You can see here they are here. So we need to back those out. So I'm going to get rid of 3/8, 3/8. So that gets me the 6 inches. So I'm going to draw this out to 6 inches. And then when I bend it, that should come back to about our 6 3/4 or so of spring material that I need. And so if I divide that by pi 3, I know I get about another 2 inches of material. So if I add those together, I've got 1, 4.5, 6.5. I'm going to call it 7 inches of material, because I probably will leave a little bit of extra material in there as I'm drawing it out. And let's go from that. If we bend this tab over without putting a little upset back here in the corner, we're just going to pull this corner away. There's going to be no material there. So our first job is to do an upset on the end of the bar. For me, that's about 10 to 15 blows or so. Once we've got the upset, we drop it down, bring two sides back to parent stock thickness, and then we are going to put a chamfer on the end of the bar. Once you've got your chamfer complete, we're going to come with our fuller, and notice I'm holding my fuller at a slight angle. I'm not holding it vertical, slight angle, and as you drive that down, that's going to create a vertical wall just here. We're going to get rid of this tab on the end, on the near side edge of the anvil, and that's going to give you the tab that's going to make the vise stop. Once you've got your vice stop, you're going to hold the shoulder out as far as that is thick. Mine's about 5/16, so I'm going to come out at least 5/16, and I'm going to drive that down to about 60 degrees or so. So that would be my result, about 60 degrees. Then I'm going to quench that tab and drive that down, crisping up that outside shoulder that may have been drawn a little in the bending process. Once you've got that crisped up, then we're going to go to the vise and complete our bend.